everybody, welcome back to Jim's Van and Life channel. If you're new here, welcome in. Well, I am in the middle of the Mesquite Flats sand dunes here in Death Valley, California on a beautiful morning. Really, morning's the only time you'd want to do this, although it is the last day of September, so it's not the hot season, obviously. Check out the dunes, though. A great place to hike. These dunes are formed by shifting winds. Winds coming in from the north, winds coming in from the south, trapped between the ranges, collecting here. And you might not think anything could live here, but in fact, based upon the tracks I've seen, lots of things live here. They come out at night, and then they bury themselves down in under the sand during the day when it gets hot. Snakes, lizards, desert rats, mice, you name it. All kinds of life here in what would normally seem lifeless. You got the typical mesquite bushes. They send down long tap roots. The sand, of course, acts like a big sponge, trapping water when it does rain, and those mesquite roots go pretty deep. What I'm walking on right now is rather firm. If you're walking on the flats or on the ridges, you have pretty good traction. The minute you try to go down a slope or climb a slope or side hill on a slope, then the going is very difficult. Your shoes are apt to fill up with sand. But it's a great place to take a little hike. Now, obviously in the summertime, it wouldn't be good to get too far away from your rig or too far away from water, because they say that the sand temperature itself can get up to like 200 degrees. So, not very good for walking on. But right now, at the end of September, on a beautiful day in the morning, what a great place to explore. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Glad to have you here. My channel is all about my travels and my adventures and things I'm up to in my retired life. So check out my content. If you like it, give me a like. Please subscribe for more adventures like this one here in Death Valley, California. Should we go climb that dune over there? That might be fun to do. Let's go. Death Valley, California, below sea level. And good old Priscilla the van. I don't know what the temperature is exactly, but I would say it feels like 80. And of course it's, you know, the end of September now, so it wouldn't be, you know, at the hot point. But I was out here the last time a couple years ago in the summer when it was really hot, and the van had retreads on the back, and one of the tires let go out here, and I had to change the tire, and it was about 110 degrees, and I was beside the road having to change a tire. It's quiet, isn't it?
Borates, salt minerals, were deposited in ancient lake beds that uplifted the yellow-colored badlands you see here. Water dissolved the borates and carried them to the Death Valley floor where they recrystallized. Workers, mostly Chinese recruited from San Francisco, loaded the material into wagons, which were transported to the refinery by 20 mule teams. This is what's left of the Harmony Borax Works, built in 1882 by businessman William Coleman. It operated until 1988 and was shut down because other sources of the mineral were discovered closer to rail lines. Refining borax was a simple but time-consuming process. The ore was mixed with water and boiled. The borax dissolved and mud, lime, and other materials settled out. The resulting brine was drawn off into crystallizing vats, wrapped in water-soaked felt padding. The evaporative effects cooled the vats, and the borax crystallized. It was then packaged for shipment, a 165-mile trip across the desert to the nearest railhead.
Well, here we are walking on the floor of Death Valley in California. It's amazing that people actually came out here, worked and lived. I mean, it's just amazing that they did that without any of the conveniences we enjoy today. Over here is what's left of one of the buildings that were part of this borax works, and you can see here they're built of stone, which is they got plenty of that around here to build with. I imagine wood made up the rafters. I don't know what they would have used for roofing materials, but probably when the borax works went under and these buildings were abandoned, locals came out and took whatever they could. And I would imagine one thing that was valuable would have been the wood that made up the rafters. But notice the construction. And here in the corners, it looks like they used some heavier material that they could find to support the weight on the corners. But yeah, can you imagine that? You're living out here every day. You're working for $1 a day or whatever to scrape up borax, load it on the wagons, and bring it back over there to the refinery. There's old Priscilla. Good old van. It's the way to travel. Very convenient. Everything you need. 2004 Ford 350 chassis. But take a look at this one over here. Here's a newer one that you can rent. Road Surfer. Liberty Lodge. Rent or buy me. Roadsurfer.com. And it looks like the company that did this conversion is Solis, S-O-L-I-S. I've never heard of them before. Oh, it's a Winnebago. And it's on a Dodge Ram chassis. A nice looking rig. Someday, if I ever need to upgrade, I can check something like this out. Well, everybody, I guess that wraps up another video on Jim's Van and Life channel. I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. More adventures on the way.